Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking all about new bronzers and highlighters at the drugstore. There have been a lot of new launches over the past month and a half, and most of these launched within that time frame, but some of the ones I do have in front of me are about 6 months old, but they are new to me, so I've been trying everything out behind the scenes, and I'm ready to share all of my thoughts about which bronzers and highlighters I love, and which ones I'd probably pass on. So let's get started. So the first one I want to talk about is my favorite bronzer of the bunch, and that's the Revlon SkinLights Prismatic Bronzer, and this is the shade 110 Sunlit Glow. It's the lightest of the shades. I believe there are 3 shades that they came out with. I love this bronzer, and I've been using it almost every day. It has a slight sheen to it, so if you like a matte bronzer, you might not like this, but I think it blends beautifully. It gives the skin so much life. And for me, it's not that much darker than my skin tone, so it doesn't look like I'm having, a ton of bronzer on. And I don't even know if that will pick up on camera since it's so much closer to my skin tone. But it's buttery soft. As you can see, I've used a lot of it already. And I just think it's one of my favorite bronzers now. Even comparing it to high-end bronzers, I love this one so much. My next favorite one is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Sunset Striptease. This one I have used quite a bit as well. There's a leaf overlay in here, which is almost gone. I really like this one pretty much for the same reason I like the Revlon one. It's very soft. I love the tone of it. It can be built up. It's not too heavy, and this might not even translate on camera. It's much lighter than the Revlon one. As you can see, you can't even tell that it's going on. But obviously I am incredibly fair, and if I use bronzers that are too dark, especially at this time of year when I'm at my fairest, it just looks too fake. So I like bronzers that can be built up very gradually, and you can see a little bit of the color there, but it's very soft, it's very blendable, and the price point is really good. The next bronzer I have is a little bit older. It's the True Match Lumi Bronze It, and this is in the shade 1 Light. I don't like this one. And obviously this is just my opinion. Some of you use and love this bronzer, and if you use and love it, just keep using it. For me, it fluffs everywhere. I don't feel like it has a good application, and I use the same brush for every single bronzer I use. This is actually the brush I use. It's an IT Cosmetics brush. I love it. But when I use this one with this particular bronzer, I just didn't have any control. It just fluffed everywhere. Now I will say I do like the tone. It's very soft again. And again, you might not be able to see how this looks. It's definitely the coolest toned bronzer that I have. I need to play with it a bit more just to see how I can get it to work, because I do like the tone of it. I really do. It's just not my favorite for application. I think it might be too soft, but I do like the tone. And the last bronzer I have is another L'Oreal one. This is Bronze Please in La Terra. Now, obviously from looking at this is much, much, much more orange than any of the others I have. Funny enough though, I really like it because, again, it can be built up. Now, I have to be really careful that I don't put too much on, or it will be really orange, and I don't like my bronzer to be orange. But I like how this one goes on the skin more than I like this one, which surprises me because I'm not quite sure how much different they are. But I do like this one. I think I'll like it a bit more when it is summertime and I have more of a tan. But I really like this one a lot. And you can see it definitely is the most orange of the 4 that I have on my arm. So again, I have to be really careful with using it, but I do like it. This one I also think can be used as a transition color in the eyes. And that's something you can use bronzer, especially if you want to do a really quick look. If you use bronzer on your lid, that just makes everything just be really seamless on the skin. So I use this as an eye color as well. So I'm going to take all of the bronzer off because we're ready to move into highlighter. And I actually love, I have 4 highlighters in front of me. I love 3 of the 4 so much, and I've been using them all interchangeably quite a bit. So my favorite highlighter of the bunch is this Milani one. It's their new baked highlighter, and this is the color Dolce Perla. I love this one. This one rivals my high-end highlighters, my Becca ones, my Ofra ones. This is so good. I love the tone of it. I also really just love how smooth it applies. And look at that. It's just beautiful. I typically don't wear pink toned highlighters because this does have a little bit of a pink undertone, but this is just so flattering. I love this one. If you buy just one highlighter from the drugstore, the Milani one is it. My second favorite highlighter is also from Revlon. It's the same SkinLights line, and this one is in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. Again, I love this one. It's super soft, just like the bronzer. And I actually really love the packaging. Both this one and the bronzer have a really cool pattern inside, and I think it's really beautiful. So this one is obviously more gold toned than the Milani, but look at that highlight. It is just so stunning. It's even, it's pigmented, and again, it doesn't highlight my fine lines. I love this one, and I highly recommend this one. It's been in rotation almost every day when I'm not using another highlighter. The next one is the NYX High Glass Highlighter. This one I was really excited to try, and when I put my finger into it, it feels amazing. It is the softest product I think I've ever tried, at least that's in a pressed form like this. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have a lot of payoff. If you look at the 3 of these, this one is just not really that pigmented, and it feels so beautiful, but even on my finger, you can see through it. Now, I will say, if you keep layering this up, which is what I'm doing, you can get a really beautiful highlight. And then if you also, spray your face with some type of setting spray or a hydrating spray, this will end up looking really nice. I just don't really like having to apply several layers of highlighter, just because I have others that will apply in one swipe and that's it. So I like this one. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't purchase it again, though it is really fun to dip your finger into it because it is so soft. It feels like a bunny's head. That's how soft it is. But you do have to layer it up to get any type of pigment. And then the final one is this duo from Wet n Wild. And this is a Blushlighter in the shade After Sex Glow. And I've tried both of these colors. Now, the highlighter, I really love. So if I put this here next to these others, this one has a peach undertone, which kind of goes with the blush that's in here. I think it's, again, just like the Revlon and the Milani, it's really pigmented, it's really smooth, it goes on beautifully, and I don't have to layer it up. So I really like this one. Now, on the other side, we have this blush color, and I attempted to use it as a blush. Now, it has a ton of shimmer in it, and it looked really beautiful on the skin, but I had to build it up so much. So I think this side works much better as a blush topper, and you have to be really careful with it because it will highlight pores if you put it too close to any larger pores. But as you can see, the color is really beautiful. It's just very shimmery and does have to be built up a lot. But I love this duo, and I think the highlighter itself, if you buy it for nothing else, the highlighter is beautiful. And just like all Wet n Wild products, the price point is amazing. I have 2 other highlighters in front of me that I have actually done videos on already. The first one is this Colourpop Illuminator. And in the video when I tried this, I made a point to say that this is truly an illuminator. It's not a highlighter. I've used it a lot more, and I have to say, if I were to buy any highlighter, I would not choose this one. Now, it does have a very gold tone, but this one, just like the NYX one, you have to build it up. It looks pretty when it's built up, but I actually even think the NYX one, which is this one right here, layers better than this one. So if you're trying to decide what kind of highlighter I want, you have to think about the tones. This is a really strong gold tone, whereas the others, the Revlon one is more champagne. The NYX is a very light champagne gold. We have a pink tone and then a peach undertone. So it really depends what kind of undertone you're looking for. For me, I have not been using this as much as I thought I would. I do like it, but I don't like it as much as these others. So in hindsight, I probably would not have purchased this one if I knew about all of these others that were out. I hope this video was helpful to see all of the different tones and the swatches, and to see if there are any of these that you might want to purchase and use. I highly, highly recommend the Revlon bronzer and highlighter, as well as the Milani highlighter. They rival my high-end bronzers and highlighters, and I've been using them actually more than my high-end ones. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.